Hello again. Welcome back to story time. Today we're going to read a little bit longer book, and so we're going to split it into two videos, okay? And I'll let you, well, when we stop, we'll have to wait for Friday to find out what happens. This book is called Mike Mulligan and His Steam Shovel, and it's written by Virginia Lee Burton. Now here's something really funny. When this story was first made into a book, my mother was 1 year old. 1 year old. When they redid it, I was 6. So this is a pretty old story. But if you like digging machines, I think you'll enjoy this story. Mike Mulligan had a steam shovel, a beautiful red steam shovel. Her name was Maryann. Mike Mulligan was very proud of Maryann. He always said that she could dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. But he had never been quite sure that this was true. Mike Mulligan and Maryann had been digging together for years and years. Mike Mulligan took such good care of Maryann, she never grew old. It was Mike Mulligan and Maryann and some others who dug the great canals for the big boats to sail through. It was Mike Mulligan and Maryann and some others who cut through the high mountains so that trains could go through. It was Mike Mulligan and Maryann and some others who lowered the hills, straightened the curves to make the long highways for the automobiles. It was Mike Mulligan and Maryann and some others who smoothed out the ground and filled in the holes to make the landing fields for the airplanes. And it was Mike Mulligan and Maryann and some others who dug the deep holes for the cellars of the tall skyscrapers in the big cities. When people used to stop and watch them, Mike Mulligan and Maryann used to dig a little faster and a little better. The more people stopped, the faster and better they dug. Some days they would keep as many as 37 trucks busy taking away the dirt they had dug. Have you ever been to a city? Do you live in a city? Have you ever seen those very tall buildings? That's what he's saying they helped build. Then along came the new gasoline shovels, and the new electric shovels, and the new diesel motor shovels, and took all the jobs away from the steam shovels. Mike Mulligan and Maryann were very sad. All the other steam shovels were being sold for junk, or left out in old gravel pits to rust and fall apart. Mike loved Maryann. He couldn't do that to her. He had taken such good care of her that she could still dig as much in a day as 100 men could dig in a week. At least he thought she could, but he wasn't quite sure. Everywhere they went, the new gas shovels and the new electric shovels and the new diesel motor shovels had all the jobs. No one wanted Mike Mulligan and Maryann anymore. Then, one day, Mike read in a newspaper that the town of Popperville was going to build a new town hall. "We are going to dig the cellar of that town hall," said Mike to Maryann, and off they started. They left the canals and the railroads and the highways and the airports and the big cities where no one wanted them anymore, and went out into the country. They crawled along slowly up the hills and down the hills till they came to the little town of Popperville. When they got there, they found that the selectmen were just deciding who should dig the cellar for the new town hall. Mike Mulligan spoke to Henry B. Swap, one of the selectmen. "I heard," he said, "that you are going to build a new town hall. Maryann and I will dig this cellar for you in just one day." "What?" said Henry B. Swap. "Dig a cellar in a day? It would take 100 men at least a week to dig the cellar for our new town hall." "Sure," said Mike, "but Maryann can dig as much in a day as 100 men can dig in a week," though he had never been quite sure that this was true. Then he added, "If we can't do it, you won't have to pay." Henry B. Swap thought this would be an easy way to get part of the cellar dug for nothing. So he smiled in rather a mean way and gave the job of digging the cellar of the new town hall to Mike Mulligan and Maryann. They started in early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. Soon a little boy came along. "Do you think you will finish by sundown?" he said to Mike Mulligan. "Sure," said Mike, "if you stay and watch us. We always work faster and better when someone is watching us." So the little boy stayed to watch. Then Mrs. McGillicuddy, Henry B. Swap, and the town constable came over to see what was happening, and they stayed to watch. Now, town constable is a policeman. Mike Mulligan and Maryann dug a little faster and a little better. This gave the little boy a good idea. He ran off and told the postman with the morning mail, the telegraph boy on his bicycle, the milkman with his cart and horse, the doctor on his way home, and the farmer and his family coming into town for the day. And they all stopped and stayed to watch. That made Mike Mulligan and Maryann dig a little faster and a little better. They finished the first corner neat and square, but the sun was getting higher. Well, that's where we have to stop today. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's going to finish in time? You'll have to come back on Friday to see what happens. And that'll be it for today. Now be sure to subscribe and share it with all your friends. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.